So the
Patriots?
Bruins,
Bruins.
we have a new head coach in Boston.
Joe Sacco. Not so new. Been with the program since 2014. But yes.
I said new
Yeah.
head coach.
Yeah, new head coach. New head coach.
So fucking give me a break, dude.
Well, I was excited because I was like, oh, maybe this is a new guy. The way they were talking about it, because they were like, over the summer, allegedly, it was like kind of a handshake deal where it's like they gave Sacco a lot more power on the bench. And they were like, hey, you're going to be the guy because Monty's got such a short leash. And so I just assumed like, oh, he must have been like kind of a new guy then. No, he's been there since 2014. He's been there for
Yeah.
11 seasons. So
It feels kind of sneaky. I don't want to say it, but like dumpster fiery right now.
100%. 100%.
Which
I mean, the
sucks.
season, what's on the ice is a dumpster fire.
And I mean, the off season we couldn't re-sign Swayman, and then
We did, and now he sucks.
he sucks. And now, what are we? 20 games into the season, and we already got rid of our coach.
We were 8-9-3. We got smoked by the Blue Jackets the last game. That's what getting smoked by the Blue Jackets will typically lead to your coach getting fired.
Okay.
We have, I mean, again, you brought up the offseason. We signed Lindholm, and that's our second Lindholm, and he was billed as like a poor man's ish version of Patrice Bergeron. It hasn't been anything close to that. I have some thoughts on the Bruins as an organization.
Go ahead.
First of all, I don't know if you've seen like the numbers. They're kind of tough. Like Jim Montgomery, since getting hired in 2022, was a mere 120-41 in 23. Like easily number one in the league since 2022. Easily. Wow. The next closest is Carolina. They're 13 points less than us. So it's like, are we sure? Like, I don't know. Most wins, most regular season wins, and the highest winning percentage in that time. See ya.
Do you think something must have happened then? Because there's no way.
Well, so last night he got into a huge argument with Marchand on the bench, and Marchand like pointed to his captain's badge, and then Monty was out. In terms of the something that had to have happened thing, I really think that the two last playoff losses that we had were so demoralizing in different ways that like you just can't get over that sometimes. Yeah. It's like if the Pats lost in 2007 but it was like Belichick's first year. Like it's hard to compare. But
yeah, it is. Football.
And then if they came back and like were pretty good again and then they just got smoked. Like it's like, oh, it's so demoralizing that I think that's just in a locker room. And in terms of, this is what I always said with Monty is like, I never trusted him in the big moments. Like I loved him in the regular season. I loved him as a guy. I loved him at the podium, but him as a like mentality guy, like dig deep, like go fucking crush these guys right now. Like I just didn't buy it because I never saw it. And so I feel like that's where it kind of started to break down a little. So I'm not even anti-firing Monty. I'm just saying these are the numbers. And also, Bruce Cassidy was like the third winningest coach in the league. The year you fire him, he goes and wins a cup in Las Vegas. Like Jim Montgomery's gonna. If I'm any team that needs a head coach, I am hiring Jim Montgomery right now. You know,
right now.
Like
right
so it's just gonna suck when he's like really good elsewhere.
Yeah. Seems to be a thing in Boston.
Yeah, and I think everyone's talking about Cam Neely and Don Sweeney being the real issues, the root of the problem. I agree. I think both things can be true. Montgomery needed to go, and so does Cam Neely and Don Sweeney. Like Cam Neely has been the president since 2010. And the real root is our roster just isn't good enough because we just haven't drafted good enough. We've just a bunch of dudes that are like fine. And the moves just haven't been good. We had 3 consecutive picks in 2015. The best one of those picks was Jake DeBrusk. He's not even on the team anymore. And there was 5 All-Stars that got picked after, 3 in a row after those picks. So it's like, it's just, and it's those mistakes over and over and over again, where it's like, I think you needed a new voice in the locker room, and I think you need a complete new voice in the front office. Your dad once made the point that, like, we were talking about Cam Neely last year, who, like, yes, is the 3rd best Bruin of all time. Like, he's a fucking legend. He's awesome. Didn't go to college. Like, so it's like, I don't know, like, can we get a nerd? I wouldn't mind a nerd. Let's get a nerd in the building. Like, I don't know. That's where I'm at with Montgomery.
Okay. So maybe we get a little, I mean, not interim head coach, but just new head coach bump, new locker room vibes. Maybe.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. We'll see. Well, now we're gonna know what we have, I think, too.
Something to rally around, hopefully.
Yeah. And hockey is the most just vibe sport ever. Like if your team just loves each other, they're gonna win like every game.
Yeah, I
So
know. Hopefully, the power of friendship. Hopefully, the guys actually like Sacco. I don't. What's his first name?
Joe
Joe Sacco.
played for him.
Instead of him just like being hired because he's the next man up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
We'll
that's
see.
not what it is, and hopefully, people actually wanted him.
Yeah, it just seems like treading water right now in that organization. I need a
Okay,
fresh
cool.
slate. I'll buy the team.
That's good.
Yeah.